You never know where life will take you. It can be hilarious, entertaining, surprising, or even terrifying. Join your hosts, Mike and Courtney, for real life adventures with Eaton on the Go. Life at the Island Podcast.
And I'm Mike.
And I'm Courtney.
And we're at the island.
We are at the kitchen island.
We are at the kitchen island with some friends. Not sure how they got here. Canoe. How did you get to the island? We'll talk about that.
We'll find out soon.
Yeah.
You can find us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or anywhere you listen. You can even watch us on YouTube.
Yeah, so we hope that you'll tune in, subscribe, and follow us. That'd be great. We want to welcome listeners in 30 cities now, actually, all across the U.S. And a shout out. This is very interesting. You'll find this interesting. Chicago is number 2 on our list of most listeners.
Hey, Chicago.
Yeah.
What do you say?
Cubs going to win today.
Woohoo. Anyway, so I would like to go international. That would be kind of fun. Yeah. So, hey, Canada, Mexico, listeners on the border, could you hop over and maybe
listen
tune
to the
in?
podcast up there? I like it. All right, so we have some guests that we want to introduce. It is Nate and Carla.
Hi, Nate.
Welcome
and
to the
Carla.
show.
Hello.
Hello, he gives his best radio.
I know, I like that. I like that. That's perfect.
My mom told me I had a face made for radio.
Perfect. We'll try not to zoom in on it for those watching on YouTube.
So speaking of Nate, we're doing our drink of the week here, and maybe we can start with Nate since he's
that's a good idea.
Brought something special.
What are you drinking?
Yeah,
for our
well,
drink of the week?
Since I came in from my new home in Asheville, North Carolina, they have a brewery down there called Sierra Nevada. One of the Sierra Nevada's breweries is there. And they have one that they only produce and distribute in Western North Carolina. It's called Southern Gothic. It's an unfiltered Pilsner.
Oh, nice.
It's delicious.
I like it.
How about you, Carla? Are you Sierra Nevada?
I brought a triplicate tonight because
nice.
I was in North Carolina last week. So I brought a Sierra Vesa because it's like Corona, nice light beer. I can handle that.
Easy drinking.
I brought water because you got to hydrate.
Oh, very smart. Very smart.
And then we all have shots of Fireball because this is,
I
and we
noticed
already
that.
have to do one drink because this is my tribute to Nate, who thinks he's funny, and I always roll my eyes.
Oh.
And so every time Nate tries to be funny, we have to do a shot of Fireball.
Oh, boy.
So
Wow.
we're doing this shot
So
now?
this could
We're gonna be really drunk by the end of this.
Drain a bottle. All right. Well, cheers. Here we'll just skip to our cheers of the week.
All right. I can't quite reach you, so here we go. I haven't had Fireball in, gosh, I don't know how long.
Woo! Now we all have good breath.
Holy smokes.
We'll save the Fireball and Carla stories for off air.
They were on that boat.
Yeah, that sounds good. Well, what do you have for your drink of the week?
I'm just drinking a vodka and club soda. Simple.
Okay, simple. That's
Delicious, refreshing.
That's all right.
Yeah.
I decided to pull out, last week we did the Boss Hog Whistle Pig. This one I actually really like. It's the 12-year Whistle Pig cast finished. It's a rye. It's good. Really good.
Excellent.
Yeah, I like it. So
Cheers
we'll drink
to
to
you.
that. But we have to do a Cheers of the Week still.
We just
even though we
did.
kind of did that. But
Oh, we want to do another one?
no, yeah, we have to there has to be a Cheers of the Week. Maybe it's because Nate's home.
And we're all going to Key West here pretty soon.
Ooh, yeah, we're going to talk about that.
Including the two in our live studio audience, Tim and Not Renee.
Yeah, you can't see them. We're working them on. They're going to be on the podcast one of these days.
One of these days.
But we thought
it'll
we'd at
happen.
least set them in our studio audience here.
That's right.
In the bleachers.
In our bleacher seating. Sorry about the uncomfortable chairs.
Yeah.
So speaking of Key West, Carla and Not Renee and I will be running a half marathon in Key West
I know,
here in a
that's
couple of
super
weeks.
exciting.
Yeah. Last year, they had race participants from all 50 states and 11 countries, including Great Britain, Canada, Mexico, Switzerland, and Brazil. Everybody wants to go to Key West in January.
Why wouldn't you?
Yeah, I know, right? Even for a run. It's perfect.
Even for a run.
Even for a run.
I'm ready. Let's do
With
it.
a medal and a shirt and all.
Oh, speaking of shirts, what do you think of my shirt?
I like her butt.
Yeah.
Carla's?
Well, no, yours.
Oh, okay.
I mean, not that I don't like your butt, Carla, but that's
Thanks,
weird.
Mike.
Okay. But
I like Carla's butt.
I know you do. Yeah. That got awkward real fast.
That's what we do here.
No, but I figured you had your shirt.
I like his beard.
Yeah, last week, and I figured I had to do something. It's kind of rude if I didn't.
Just
Yeah,
so
it
long
is
as
for-
it doesn't say, I like her beard. That would
Right.
Oh.
That would
Awkward.
not
Yeah,
be okay.
that would be creepy. Very, very creepy. Nate just wanted to say something. He leaned in, and then he's like, no, I'm going to reel it back in. I don't know what that was.
We have rated this PG-13, Nate, so
It's all good.
Keep it PG-13.
All right, so... I was kind of digging on some things to try to figure out this run thing, because I want to talk about this, because I'm intrigued by this, because we have like the runner of all runners, athletes here in our midst. Carla, she's like a Olympian or something.
I think so.
I mean, really, kind of close to it. But so I did find out this. Now I know we're talking about half marathons in Key West, but there is the oldest marathon finisher. Maybe you know this, but this is crazy. It comes from India. I can't say his name, so I'm not even going to try. But at the Toronto Waterfront Marathon in Canada, the 100-year-old finished the race in a time of 8 hours, 25 minutes, and 16 seconds.
100-year-old.
Isn't that crazy?
Going to be running at 100?
I couldn't finish a marathon in 8 days, let alone 8 hours.
I don't want to finish a marathon.
I don't either.
I don't either.
I could do a marathon like drinking contest or something, but
You could finish that in 8 hours.
oh yeah.
What about youngest?
Okay, I did find that out too. Now this is even more staggering. This young man finished 48 marathons before his 5th birthday. I can't say his name either. He's from somewhere else, but
It's from India, too.
yeah.
Yep.
Isn't that crazy?
That is crazy.
I didn't even know you could run that much when you're 5 years old.
There's hope for you, hon.
I don't know.
The 100-year-old, anyway.
Not for that guy. I'm not going to pass this. Yeah, thanks. Well, listen, I will tell you this. I did also find out that people on the list of famous people that ran marathons, Oprah Winfrey was one of them, George W. Bush, Sean Combs, Kate Holmes, and Will Ferrell. Can you believe that?
Wow.
So there is hope.
It is the thing to do.
What, run marathons?
To run.
Everybody's running, even Forrest Gump.
I ran to the dinner table.
I was going to say I can run to the bar to get another drink. No more
Is it time
shots.
for another
No more
shot?
shots. I won't know which ends up if we keep doing that fireball stuff.
So we were talking about Carla, and
Yeah.
she has run some Ironman competitions, which I find extremely fascinating.
I'm going to get you to sign up, Courtney.
Oh, yeah, no, I don't think that's going to happen. Tell us about Ironmans. How long are they? Where have you?
Is that the same thing as triathlon or not? What's the difference?
So a triathlon is a swim, bike, run, and you can do all sort of distances at a triathlon. So you can do a sprint, which is short, Olympic, which you will see in the Olympics, and then there are half and full distance, which are Ironman. It's the Ironman brand,
Oh,
but
right.
there are other companies that have 70.3 and 140.6. So I've done 3 Ironman, no 70.3s, in Louisville, Kentucky, best day of my life. Madison,
nice.
Wisconsin, and then just this April I did the Woodlands, Texas.
I'm pretty sure you could beat me up. I'm getting a little nervous sitting here.
She might be able to beat you up.
Probably could. That's very cool though. that
Yeah.
You can do all that. Now, would it count if I did one of those if like you had a sidecar on your bike that I rode in?
That'd make it even more difficult for her.
Well, but not me.
You're
I
not
could
going to
just-
ride in it?
Well, I'm going to ride in it. She's going to do the work.
That's
and I'm
some
gonna,
extra
But would
weight.
I still get credit for it?
So there are impaired athletes. So
Okay.
we could make you an impaired athlete, Mike.
Well, I
After
will-
a
I
couple
will-
shots of
If I
Fireball.
keep drinking all this Fireball, I'll be impaired all right. For sure.
So, Carla, you have a tattoo on your shoulder. An M dot tattoo?
An M dot.
An M dot tattoo.
That is the symbol of Ironman.
the symbol, the badge of honor.
Yeah. Some people think, why would you put that badge on a company logo on your body? But it represents to me 9 months of hard work and what I did to get to that finish line.
And dedication, yeah.
And I always say it's like training for an Ironman is like pregnancy. Your body goes through a lot of changes. You have to work really hard to get there. And at the end, you're like, never again. And then 5 days later, you sign up for another one. So
Okay, yeah.
it's just like having a baby. It's that sense of accomplishment. Like,
Right.
I'm so proud of what I did to get there. I played in sports when I was growing up. I always had some competitive part of me being satisfied. But
Yeah.
then, you get married, you have kids, all of a sudden your world changes. And I was like, well, I don't know what else to do with myself. So I signed up for an Ironman.
Oh, yeah, why not?
Yeah. And I swore, right, Nate? One and done.
Absolutely.
One and done.
And have you signed up for a fourth?
I have signed up for a fourth next November in Florida.
Oh my word!
So
You can thank me for that. She's like, well, if you're moving, I'm signing up for another Ironman. And I was like, okay.
I'll be there. Nate, you were there at this last one.
I've been at the last two.
The last two.
I was at Madison, Wisconsin, and also in Texas.
That's awesome.
So in Madison, I had bike issues, and I saw him on a hill, and I said, my bike won't stay in the big cog. And he said,
Well, I'll see you at T2. You're not going to fix it out here, so you better suck it up and get to T2.
nothing you can do, so just go with it. And I was like, okay. That was what I needed to hear. So
Yeah.
Perfect. There you go. Suck it up. So
Some of my favorite days are spent out on the Ironman course. And for people that think spectating isn't hard, it's hard.
I bet it is
Where's
because
your
it takes. I mean,
Yeah.
how long
So
does it take to finish?
As
an
long as
Ironman?
she's out there, I'm out there, meeting her at different spots and kind of going around the course. And I didn't do such a good job at Texas because the bike course was out on a tollway, but
you didn't want to like hitchhike on the highway.
well, they wouldn't let you out there. Trust me, I tried to find a way, and they wouldn't let me because part of what she enjoys when she's out there is seeing the people that she
Sure.
knows.
Yeah.
Looks like we're all going to Florida in November.
It sounds fun to me. And you know, we were up in Milwaukee, and they were doing an Ironman.
No, that was Madison.
Madison up in what? Oh yeah, it was Madison. Okay, I don't know where we're at half the time.
Life on the go.
It is right, but no, we were up in Madison, and they were doing an Ironman, and there was there one or two people that
Two
died.
deaths.
2 people
Yeah.
died during the
This is
Ironman. So I mean,
serious
it's a
stuff.
serious competition.
it is. So if you're
This
not...
is not for pansies like me.
Well, not going to say a word. No.
I was waiting for you to agree with me.
You guys are both bald. You would think they would have like a little bit of streamline, at least in the water
For
race.
sure.
Yeah, no, I'd sink.
So I read that it's not uncommon for an Ironman athlete to burn over 10,000 calories during the race, and that on average, an Ironman will lose 5.5 pounds during that time.
Dang, I guess I'm not average. So after Texas, we got back to the hotel that we were staying at, and I'm just jazzed. I'm like
Sure.
ready to tell him everything that happened all day. I want to hear what his experience was all day, going back and forth. Finally, about 2 o'clock in the morning, I'm like,
Something like that.
you need to go to sleep because you have to drive us home tomorrow, because my legs were so stiff. I was not moving, but I woke up like every hour to 2 hours after that because I had to eat constantly because I was still burning all the calories.
Sure.
Wow,
So
that's
yeah.
crazy.
And I got to spend the day with her family that was with me. So we all enjoyed it together.
Oh, nice.
Her sister and brother-in-law. I almost said her aunt and uncle. Her sister and brother-in-law and her niece were there. So we were her entourage for the day.
No, I love it. So are there penalty tents
Yeah.
for naughty Ironmen?
Yeah. So an Ironman,
Courtney
full
would never
distance.
get out of that. She would be in there all the time.
I followed the rules.
Oh, bull.
Okay, tell us about the penalty tent.
So to do an Ironman, it's 2.4 mile swim, 112 miles on the bike, and 26.2 mile run or walk. And you have to complete it by midnight within 17 hours. Otherwise, you are not an Ironman. So you're out there and you're, trying to go as fast as you can. And a lot of people, because every course is different, but they will do loops. And sometimes when they loop, you accidentally get right behind somebody and then you draft. And so you can have a penalty for drafting. You can have a
Because you're
penalty.
too close to them.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
So you have to have 6 bike links in between you and the person in front of you so that you don't get that drafting.
Drafting. Okay.
Time out for a drafting story. So Carla and I went on a bike ride one time.
Were you?
And she's like, hey, let's ride over to Goodfield and have pie at the busy corner.
Why not?
We'll do a pie ride. And I was like,
From where? From Morton? You rode all the way out
we
there?
rode from
Tremont.
Tremont.
How many miles is that?
Not enough.
That's too many for
Not
me.
enough for a slice of pie.
Okay, go ahead.
So we ride over there, and the ride over there was very pleasant. We had conversation, we get over there and we have a slice of pie and some food,
Yeah.
and then we come back
Did you blow chunks all the way back?
into a headwind.
Ooh.
So I'm pedaling my butt off, huffing and puffing, and all of a sudden I hear her cackling like she is right now behind me because she's on easy street. Because there's no wind coming at her.
He's a great wind block.
Oh,
So I'm in aero
this.
bars, and I send a video to Not Renee and Cinnamon, and I'm cackling so hard because here I am. And he's like, "This is killing me." I'm like, "This is awesome."
Yeah.
Thanks for the draft.
Yeah, no kidding.
So I sold my bike and I don't ride with Carla anymore.
Aw.
That's it.
rude.
That's all of that. You know, I wonder if I could start, and I think Tim would be in on this too.
Tim
A
likes to
whiskey
ride
man.
bikes.
What about a whiskey man?
Like,
You know?
what are you going to do? Like shots of whiskey for
Yeah,
17
like a
hours?
marathon. You know, just like. We could do tricks or something while we're drinking whiskey. I don't know what
Tricks?
that'd be.
Is it
Stand
like-
on one leg. I don't know.
2.4 shots of scotch.
Yeah.
26 shots of bourbon.
Tim can do his awesome trick of standing up from an Indian style position without arms or legs, without
We'll see.
knees.
We will definitely have to have that on the show.
I can only do that if Walter helps.
So now let's talk about Nate because believe it or not, we're quickly running out of time. So Nate here, retired cop turned airline manager now.
Yeah.
And here he is. Now, I did some research. I finally figured out why you went to North Carolina.
Oh, do tell.
I figured it out. So, as a cop, being retired, I figured he's got to be going out to North Carolina for a reason. And I found out that Krispy Kreme Donut was founded in Winston-Salem, North Carolina. I figured it out. That's why.
Wow.
why.
I will tell you that
I'm on to
Krispy
you.
Kreme is not the best donut in North Carolina.
Okay, let's hear it. Which one is it? Because now I'm intrigued.
Well, I still have more to try, but I have tried Vortex Donuts that,
Okay, pretty
are
good.
downtown by Catawba Brewery.
I'll
There
be
are-
trying that when I come to visit.
There are 123 breweries, so bring your drinking shoes when you come.
Ooh, and your beer shoes, because
Now, I wanted to throw a couple things at you
Where
to see
that?
if you knew this yet about North Carolina. Because I did some research. That's what I do. I do some research.
I just work. I don't have much time to research, so come on.
we're here for you, Nader.
I did find out there's some laws on the books in North Carolina. Being a cop, we would be interested in this. Did you know it's against the law to sing off key?
Oh, Nate, you are so
Breaking the law.
Courtney would be screwed there.
Well,
Rude. I have an angelic voice.
nothing but 4-chair turns come out of this mouth.
oh, sweet lordy.
Now, here's another one. If a man and woman aren't married and they go to a hotel and register themselves as married, then according to state law, they are married.
Careful there.
How crazy is that?
Whew, we didn't stay in a hotel.
Dodged a bullet. Yes.
Now, I found this one be interesting in North Carolina. And organizations cannot hold meetings if their members are present in costume.
So no Big Bird
So,
costumes at your next
Halloween, there's no meetings.
Wow.
No meetings.
Yeah. It's interesting.
A couple more. Women are required to wear clothes a total of 16 yards, meaning no Daisy Dukes. Those are illegal in North Carolina. Do you ever see women in Daisy Dukes there?
It's been cold since I moved there, so,
Okay, so probably not.
I'll let you know in the spring. Maybe I'll have to come back for that.
Now, two more.
including you, Nate. No Daisy Dukes.
No Daisy Dukes for you.
That's all I own.
Oh, boy. This is getting scary. No, we will not post pictures of that.
No.
We will not. Two more. Very interesting. It's illegal for grandma to get intoxicated at bingo night.
Carla, the next time you come, we won't go to bingo.
She's not a grandma yet.
Oh, yeah. All right. Not even close to grandma age, right?
Now we're
Okay.
just going to smack him with a bottle of Fireball.
Let's
Good idea, Courtney.
let's move on to the next one before we have a domestic breakout. And I have to go put on my uniform. Happy hours are illegal in North Carolina.
Did they have happy hours?
Every hour's happy when you're in North Carolina because every place has beer.
So tell us about North Carolina.
Yeah, what's your favorite?
Yeah.
Part of South Carolina, North Carolina, wherever you're at.
The views. I drive to work every day and smile.
Yeah.
As Carla will tell you, I post way too many pictures on Facebook of the sunrise.
You do have nice pictures though with the airlines
Thank
and
you.
the
Yeah.
sun rising.
I enjoy it. It's one of the perks of living there is the view.
Yeah.
I was born and raised in corn country, and we did find a when Carla was there, we did find a cornfield.
They do have a few cornfields.
Yeah.
Oh, do they?
Yeah.
They also have, I think they produce the most sweet potatoes in all
Interesting.
of the country.
But it's the one thing about cornfields down there is kind of interesting. You know, around here you drive around and there's these big square open 80-acre fields, and down there they're like, there's a triangle, we can plant corn there. And they do.
Some flat land.
Yeah.
Tobacco? Do you see tobacco fields?
Not around where I'm at.
Okay.
So there's no tobacco fields down there, but it's beautiful. The airport that I work at, there's mountains in the background, so every morning when we push our planes out, you know, the sun's rising over the mountains.
Nice.
It's really nice. So
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Very good. So what inspired you to go work for an airline company after being a cop?
well,
No more perping.
yeah,
no more catching perps.
No more perping. So when the police department that I worked at, one of the teachers in the same district had worked for this airline, and he said, hey, you know, it's the best job really I've ever had in my life. And I was like, oh yeah, okay. I said, well, if there's any openings, just let me know and I'll come check it out. So that fall when he came back to school, this was in the spring. That fall when he came back to school, he's like, I was talking to him. I was like, hey, seriously, like if there's any openings, let me know. And that Sunday, Carla and I were driving. I don't remember where we were driving to, but he sends me a text. Can you be at the airport at 9:30 in the morning for an interview? And I was like, well, I can be there at 6:30 if you want me to. But so anyway,
Overachiever.
I went to work for the benefits, the flight benefits. So
Yeah,
Carla and
why
I
not?
could take some more trips and do stuff like that. And
Yeah, thank you for those buddy passes.
Yeah.
By the way.
2 years later, you know, I'd always said that 20 years was all I was going to do in law enforcement, and then I was going to move on to something else. Well, they had some positions open up, and I applied for them, and a series of events occurred. I won't bore you with all the details, but a series of events occurred, and here I am in Asheville, North Carolina, and life is good.
Actually, you're at the island.
Well, I'm at the island now.
Oh, okay.
But think about it. It's every little boy's fantasy. He got to play cops and robbers for
Yeah.
20 years.
Yeah.
And now he gets to watch airplanes.
It really is.
His inner boy has been satisfied.
I think I would probably just sit in the cockpit and act like I was flying the thing. Can you do that?
No.
No. Okay. Can't do that.
There's all kinds
Not
of
allowed.
safety things that and security things that go along with that.
That's
But I will tell you, I never tire of watching airplanes take off. I can stand outside and watch airplanes take off all day long, and never gets old.
When we went to Miami before our cruise,
Yeah.
he was sitting in the lounge chair with his little app. I don't remember what it's called. That plane,
Fly to where?
that's going
Yeah.
to New York. That plane, that's going to Chicago.
It was meant to be.
Good job, Nate.
well, yeah, because
Where's my plane going?
you actually showed me that app.
Yeah.
I think when we were going on the cruise,
Yep.
when we went on the cruise together, and you had me download this app, and I think I just about had a seizure looking at it because there was just so many like
Activity.
planes going every. I mean, I didn't even know what any of it meant really.
Yeah, I mean, if you really look and see how many planes are flying over the United States
Yeah.
at any given time, it's really astounding. And speaking, I'll never forget on 9/11 when they showed, you know, what the view looked like the day before and then the day after. You know,
Yeah.
it was it's really something. There's a lot of air travel out there. You know,
Yeah, there is.
Are you going on any runs before Key West Marathon?
No, there's a New Year's Day resolution run. That's just a 5K that I was thinking about doing, but
Yeah.
we'll just play that one by ear. See how
New Year's Eve.
how it all goes.
We can edit that out.
No, I'm not planning on any other runs.
No more runs.
Just a few training runs before we head
Did
out.
you go on the one on New Year's Day? I heard there was one on New Year's Day.
It was fantastic.
And here's Carla running down the road. Oh boy.
you know, you were talking about marathons earlier, and I always crack up because I'll never forget when Carla ran her first marathon, and she was like, "I'll never run another one of these again." And I'm like, okay. She goes, "I'd rather train for an Ironman than a marathon."
Absolutely.
Yeah,
I'm
let's
like-
add a bike and a swim to that.
I'm like, okay. She goes, "Who wants to go out and run 20 miles on their weekend?" I'm like, okay. Yeah, like 6 months later, she's like, "Hey, I think I'm going to sign up for another marathon."
It's like having a baby.
Or getting a tattoo. The pain is worth it. Let's go again.
Let's go again.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
since-
don't have any tattoos. I've been thinking about that.
We're gonna have to break you in.
Yeah, I don't know.
We're working on it.
I have 2, and since I've moved to North Carolina, I've been looking at something to do for a third. So,
Really?
Yeah.
Airplane.
No.
An airplane. What?
Well, I don't know.
Although, if you were thinking about that, excuse me for laughing.
No, but it has to do with his life path.
Right.
That's
Yeah.
awesome.
I love I'll just say this. I love the saying, "Not all who wander are lost."
Yeah. Ooh, that is good.
is
I like
true.
that. Ooh, that could be a pod quote.
That could be a pod
do
quote.
like that. Which,
But not today.
not today, Renee. We need Renee. We need to record Renee just saying, "Not today." And then we say that was not today, Renee. All right, we are out of time actually. But what's our pod quote this week?
So, pod quote is from Ernest Hemingway, since we will be heading to Key West. From The Sun Also Rises. I can't stand it to think my life is going so fast and I'm not really living it, which is why we travel.
Yes.
Because we want to live our life.
Amen.
So,
Absolutely.
I like it. Well, don't forget to drop us an email, eatononthego@gmail.com. Of course, you can follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and you can follow us on YouTube. Make sure you subscribe and send us a message. We'd love to hear from you. Thanks to our guests for being here, and
Thank you.
We'll talk to you next week. Have a good week.
bye.